Jason Chaffetz, now former Utah congressman and Fox News contributor. Look, they're setting up checkpoints. And I don't want to say what that reminds us all of, because that's their word. And at the same time, how can they do this and expect us to follow laws from people who have no authority?
They have no authority. It's against the law. You can't impersonate an officer. Those people need to be arrested, prosecuted, and have the book thrown at them until we actually have consequences for that that's illegal behavior. Until that happens, they're going to continue to do it. But the video shows a police car just driving by. Now, maybe that's something more urgent to go to, but you've got to make sure that these streets are safe. You cannot do this, and yet they continue to get away with it.
Look, they're collecting on a signal chat license plates. That comes with home addresses, a whole host of things that they can get their hands on. And if there are criminals that want to do harm to the citizens there by going to their homes, they now have a perfect way to track people. You're giving your personal information to people who are breaking the law in front of you. It is a new level of intimidation in Minnesota. It's more than embarrassing. It's frightening. Fox News contributor and constitutional law attorney Jonathan Turley's new opinion piece is titled, "When Elites Cheer the Mob, History Warns That Revolutions Devour Their Own." Here's part of that. History shows that it is far easier to start a revolution than to end one. As politicians fuel the mob in major cities, they will likely find that today's revolutionaries often become tomorrow's reactionaries. Your thoughts?
It's a great article. Jonathan Turley's one of the smartest that there is. You should read it. It's a good one. But he's absolutely right. I think America looks at this in a sort of a 90-10 fashion and says, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. We empower and give police powers to certain people who've gone through extensive training and then execute on that. And there are consequences if you don't abide by that. But this vigilante effort and these politicians who are fueling the flames, I don't believe a single Democrat out there. There's not a single Democrat out there that can stand up with integrity and say, oh, we got to take down the temperature. Oh, we want to coexist. Oh, we want to work with the other side. Show me that you're actually doing that, because you're not. You're fueling the flames. You're inciting people. You're actually telling people it's okay to go shoot ICE officers, and people are going to get hurt. And they are terribly irresponsible. They need to be taken down politically by having the people rise up and vote them out of office. This is not acceptable behavior in today's America.
Well, I see a lot of irony, and I've heard you say, look for the moments of irony. This is one of them, Jason. They don't want to secure our sovereignty at the border, but they want to set up their own border-like checkpoints. That is rich, and it is wrong.
Yeah.
All right, the total number of anti-ICE agitators arrested after that despicable storming of a St. Paul, Minnesota church service last month has grown to 22. That's a lot. 21-year-old regular attendee of the church is telling Fox News the harassment of the people who attend the church, the worshipers, is still happening.
Just the safety and the peace and the joy that we were feeling in the church, in our worship of Jesus Christ, going out and seeing people who are like spewing hatred towards us. And it made me feel sad for them. I would imagine that next Sunday, there's going to be a very similar presence. I don't know when it's going to end.
Religious freedom in this country, is it under threat after what we saw?
Yeah, these are supposed to be sanctuaries. Talk about sanctuaries. These are the true sanctuaries where people should be able to practice their religion and worship in peace and enjoy the communion that they're going to have with their fellow citizens in talking and feeling and praying and singing and doing those types of things. That atmosphere goes out the door when you got people who come in and try to agitate that. Talk about fascism. Talk about fascist. How dare do they call ICE and Trump and all these people fascist? Are you kidding? That is fascist behavior, to go into a church and try to intimidate those people. And there are laws against it. Again, they've got to arrest them, but they got to prosecute them. I don't see the prosecutions happening. I want to see people sitting in jail, paying big fines, getting on the do not fly list. Once that word gets out, things will change.
Jason Chaffetz, thank you for being in focus.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.